Well, hey guys, something a little bit different today. It is Sunday. Happy Sunday to everybody. I'm at another farm. It's a little ways away from the farm where I'm at, and I figured I would come and visit this International 544. I know the people here. If you guys have been following me, this tractor was the second tractor that I had back when I was farming over at the other farm. You can see it is a gas engine, which is one of the drawbacks. It's a C200 gas engine. So I'm going to go into a little bit some of the things that I did to this and over the years different problems that I had with this tractor. But yeah, this was the first real tractor that I had when I was farming. All right, so when I brought this tractor home, first of all, it has about 5,000 hours on it already. First thing that happened to me when I got it home was the tires that were on it were terrible. They were completely bald, and these aren't much better. They've been worn down. I found these Goodyear used tires, and I think they're almost like 10 ply. They're 10 ply. I had gotten a flat tire in the ones that I had before this. I got a sickle bar guard, the sides stuck in, and I got a flat tire, and I figured, on all these hills that I have, it's soon time we do something about these tires. So I had found these were used, and I put these on. I was still working at the Case IH dealership at the time. I had borrowed the calcium pump, and I mounted these 10 ply tires over the winter time, I think. So I did make an upgrade. These are 16.928s. This tractor was very fast on the road in fifth gear. With the little tires, you could really move if you wanted to run wagons around or something. I had it on the road quite a bit, but this was the main tractor. This had to do all the spraying that I had. This did all the tillage. I was a tillage farmer. I mean, this had to plow, disc, harrow, spray, bale, rake, ted, you name it. This did everything. And the first tractor I had, of course, was my granddad's Farmall Super C. But comparing a Super C to this, it's a pretty big step up to have this. Like I said, C200 gas engine. I think it's about 50 to 60 horsepower. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, problems I had with it. I got this thing home, and the radiator started leaking really bad right off the bat. So I had pulled the radiator out, took it to a radiator shop, and I don't know if it was just a slow radiator shop, but they said the radiator was pretty bad, but they were going to try to redo it because I think the new radiator for this was pretty expensive at the time. So I had to wait. I don't know if it was a month. I was so far behind till I got it. I finally did get it and get it put in the tractor. In the meantime, I was plowing with my Super C just so I could stay ahead on everything. So we got the radiator put in. The next thing was the one day I went to start it, and all of a sudden there was smoke coming out of this dash. There was smoke coming up around, and all the wires under here fried themselves. So I had to rewire everything under this dash on this tractor. So I did that. It took another couple weeks. I was so far behind. A couple other things I did to it. I did put 3-rib new front tires on it because it had truck tires on, and they were mismatched truck tires, and one was completely bald. If you were going up a hill and wanted to turn or something, they just would slide. They were totally worthless tires. So I did basically put all 4 tires on. I did repaint the hood. I did the red now. It's quite a few years. I think this left my the other farm back in, I don't know, 2013, somewhere in there. So I know the people who have it. So I did put a front weight bracket on, and I did have front weights for it. I had to be careful not weighting it down too much because it was the swept back axle. So coming around to this side, this front spindle was cracked, and the person who had it had it welded. Instead of fixing it, they had it welded. So what I did when I got it, it was cracked. Again, I really welded it. So there's nothing I could do to save it. It was already welded. So it's nice to see that after all these years, the weld is still holding. I'm not a professional welder by any means, but it's holding all these years later. Did put a new muffler on. I had said new tires all the way around. Got the radiator fixed, got the dash rewired. I think when I had it, it had about 4,100 hours on. So, and when it left, I don't know how many hours. I put these turn signals on here, and that one's twisted around. There were no turn signals on the fender. I put a second light on the back fender here, just because the one factory light wasn't enough. I had to work at night a lot coming home from work. You'll notice two remote valves, which when I got this tractor, one of these remote valves was forward up under the deck plate. It was actually a loader on this tractor at one time, so they plugged in under the deck plate. I had hoses made and put it out the back here. Because how I used to make hay, I used to borrow my neighbor's International. That's in the upper shed at my place. His hay bine, you needed two remotes, so I had to make this work, and it worked. So had live PTO, 3-point hitch. I did take the 3-point arms off this tractor, of course. You guys see me do that now. Trying to think what else. Little things like the knob for the PTO, the knob for the throttle I put on. So yeah, this is the it's been years, so I'm gonna sit in the seat, and it looks like it's been sitting. When I got this tractor, it was sitting for 5 years or more, and there were a lot of bugs to work out of it. So yeah, it feels familiar. Oh, I tell you, from one operation to the other, I definitely I guess I can say I made a little progress, because like I say, this was the tractor and this did everything. The Super C and the 8N Ford were basically just for mowing with like a rotocutter. I did have a rotocutter for this thing. I had a Woods D80 that I used to chop corn stalks with. So yeah, that takes me back. Yep. And the brakes are still wore out. So yeah, this is the International Harvester 544. I guess this would be more of a utility, being that it's low to the ground with the swept back axle. But for all the problems I had with it, the other thing is they don't make parts for this so much anymore. The axle seal was leaking on this side, and the bearings and the seals, I think at the time, I don't know if they are available now, but they were not available. So I had a bad hydraulic oil leak, and you know what? They did do work to this when they got it from me, but it looks like it's still leaking, so it never got fixed. So, and if anybody's wondering, I don't really want it back. With 5,000 hours on a gas engine, granted you might be able to get more, but I had so many problems with this thing. I think it needed a clutch, and I think the TA was getting a little iffy. The brakes were shot. It needs brakes done to it. It would just be another project for the farm. And the gas, granted it's only a 4-cylinder, but it's still gonna use a lot more gas than diesel to make the same horsepower. Had wheel weights. So that was nice, having the wheel weights, a little bit extra weight. This was the tractor I got pushed down the hill over at my dad's while I was baling. Gave me a pretty good scare. It's nice that it was low to the ground, but I put this, it's still on. I put that sticker on there. I was a lot younger then. So yeah, just a quick introduction. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Get to visit one of my first tractors that I started farming with, but this was it. With the tillage, I had a 3-bottom plow. I had a 10-foot drag disc, 13-foot Brilliant Harrow. I had a McCormick International grain drill that I planted all my rye with. So there was a time I was able to plant my own stuff. I had an International 800 4-row corn planter, Cyclo Air. I had a 2-row New Idea corn picker. I had a Massey 750 combine, Century sprayer, New Holland 275, small square baler with a thrower. I had a borrow rake. I didn't have a rake. I had about 4 hay wagons at that time that I built. I had to build them. They were just running gears when I bought them. So definitely didn't start out with a whole lot of stuff when I had started back at the other farm. I really did not. Everything that I had to buy just piece by piece. So over the course of 10 years working at the Case IH dealership, I spent a lot of money buying equipment. So all right, guys, I'll end the video there today. A little bit of nostalgia for me anyway, but I figured I would share it with you guys to show you one of my first tractors that I started with. So like I say, I don't want it back, but I'm very grateful for what this little tractor has done for me to help me get started. So thanks for watching, guys.